Good evening. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
We are moving on with block 2, demand and supply. As discussed yesterday, demand and supply, block 2, fourth unit, demand concepts and analysis. Today's class, you will be learning about why demand is important, what is the concept of demand, what are its determinants, or say the factors which influence demand, how demand equation is developed, nature of demand, and then there are certain theories with respect to demand and the form of law of demand, a schedule, curve, characteristics, assumptions, and the significance. And of course, there are certain limitations to it, which we would discuss under exceptions to the law of demand and the various methods to understand demand and changes which happen to demand, and this leads to the changes in quantity, supply, etc. So that way we'll explore about how change in demand is going to have impact on other variables like quantity, etc. And then there exists a relationship between what kind of relationship is demand and revenue. What happens with the revenue when a demand has been touched or is being changed. So we are going to explore all these topics in today's class. Okay. So to begin with, what is demand? In economics, it is considered to be a very significant variable which reflects how the market pattern is designed. It is otherwise also popularly called as a business activity. Okay. And even firms or industry, they have an objective, alternatively, other than the profit maximization, to fulfill the demand. Okay. So for example, any company would like to priorly ensure the customers are satisfied, and the customers will be satisfied given the condition that there is no shortage of supply. When there is shortage of supply, customer tends to move on to the next alternative, and this might lead to switch to other brands. So one of the most important criteria for any firm or industry is ensure that your product is available sufficiently in the market. Once you don't take this as in priority, it so happens that when there is, of course, the customers are loyal to you, but when there is non-availability of your products in the market, the customers would not prefer to check out and buy at places where they can't reach easily, conveniently. They may have to forgo some additional expenditures in order to reach another destination. So that way, there are certain challenges for them. In this given situation, there are high chances that the company or the firm would lose a customer to the competitor. So demand is constructed as one of the most important required for a business activity. Understanding demand and supply conditions for any product or service is the plays a pivotal role in business activity. Okay, so if you look at the significance of the demand, as I have put forth, it helps the management in planning the requirements. When you forecast, when you know, suppose upcoming is a season of schools and colleges across. So you classmate, ITC company, they need to forecast the demand for the stationery requirement like notebooks and pencils, pens, etc. offered by them under this section, and ensure that they are all available sufficiently, maybe not abundantly, but sufficiently, so that the customers are happy. Now, this demand, when it is been forecasted, because the upcoming season is all about the schools reopening, people require school bags, shoes, lunch boxes, or related products. So, this particular forecasting of the demand will enable the firm to understand, like, lunch boxes, Signoraware, Borosil, many other brands have come up with their own exclusive designery, customized lunch boxes, etc., bags, etc., lunch box bags, etc. So that way, when you forecast, you will be in a position, a firm will be in a position to understand what best they can give for the market. And at the same time, they will also calculate how much time do they have in order to make certain changes to their existing line of product, or make certain modifications to the existing product, thereby they also end up giving targets to the manufacturing unit to order the raw material and start making the finished goods, thereby sales force. Likewise, each and every department is given. So all in all, if you look at demand, when it is forecasted, it helps not only the micro units of the firm, but also at macro level, it enables the customer satisfaction. If you look at externally, okay, so planning, budget, sales force, research, prices during this on season, and all these, help. Forecasting would help all these heads or the managers to fix their targets in time and attain them successfully in time. Okay. And the concept of demand all lies here with desire or want. Okay. Want of certain things. What do you want? That creates a demand for the product. So, all if you look at in economics, this demand is a desire to buy, desire to buy something which you can. That means it is connected to your purchasing power. Therefore, for any given product or service is said to have a demand when three conditions are met. And those three conditions are desire, that means want of a product. You want to acquire that product, you want to buy that product, number one. Now, once you see the product is available in the market and you are also willing to buy, but purchasing power. So, secondly comes willingness to pay how much ever it is priced for. And the third one is ability to pay the specified price for it. You may be ready to pay certain amount, okay, as per your budget, but off season, on season, there are slight changes to the price because of the demand and supply. So certain times we see certain exclusive products which goes out of stock and people start black marketing. In case if you so desire to buy a given product, I mean, are willing to buy a product, then maybe off season you will not spend that much, but on season you are okay even to spend more in order to acquire that. So that is your desire to buy the product given whatever be the price. Okay, so the best example here is like a dynamic pricing which is adopted by IRCTC. If you look at Tatkal tickets and special trains which have been arranged for in order to meet the summer demand, dynamic prices are adopted, wherein economically, basic plan includes a basic traveling charges. Besides, it does charge a dynamic price wherein there may be slight increase in the price due to the demand. Suppose there are 50 seats available, and these all 50 seats, if you receive demand for 50 seats, well and good, they will give you, allot you the seats. But if you receive more than the desired number that you possess, that is 60, 70, etc. So the dynamic pricing they may switch to, wherein the prices may go little higher. And anybody who is willing to pay that high price would get the seat rather than the basic fare. So that way, you can take into consideration while understanding the demand, how demand is fixed based on the three elements. Number one, desire, two, willingness, and three, ability. Is that clear to all of you, or any queries until here? Only there are very few participants today.
Yes.
I'm having a doubt here. Hello. Uh, Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Uh, that in case you said there will be a demand higher if they reach a particular level. But in my opinion, if the to attract the customer or whatever they are trying to do, they will make the offer first, right? To attract the customer. When the
Definitely.
customer is higher, then they will make the more offers to gain the more customers. Isn't that possible?
See, it all depends upon your supply. Demand is
Okay.
must be prevailing, but if you are not able to supply in time and the required number of units, in that cases also there may be slight changes,
Okay.
right? So
I
here
mean,
the
are more.
companies gear up in order to ensure. That's what we've discussed in the previous topic of importance of demand, where the whole company, department wise, individual unit wise, manufacturing unit, raw material, budget, finance, accounts, sales force, marketing unit, research unit, everyone is given a target to attain the target come for the upcoming season, provided if everybody aligned together and they work, definitely 100% it might be a success, but there are chances that the demand might exceed the forecast. And in that cases, the offers, the prices, it may be vice versa as well. I mean, it may not be always, maybe the competitor is giving the market the best price than you, then the customers would switch off to the competitors. So that way, though you have a good offer, but you don't find customers for your given product in the market, though it is in season. So there are chances, exceptions we call, which we will be discussing under exceptions to demand. Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
here we
thank
go.
you for it.
Right. Features of demand. The features of demand implies to consumers, the customer, or who is paying money to purchase it. And it is always, instead of the monetary value, we call it as a price here. For any firm, any given product, as a customer, when you are paying to a firm, that is termed technically as price. And this amount of demand should specify the period of time, such as, period of time, such as, how much is demanded for how many months. Certain so in certain cases we end up estimations, we end up forecasting, but not all those comes under exceptions to demand. I know if you are seriously trying to understand the concept of demand, you get a number of doubts, and I believe that all these are because of your understanding and the connection that you're creating to understand the subject. Of course, you're going on a right path, but there are certain exceptions which are otherwise referred as limitations. The scope of the demand is being confined. Beyond this scope, if anything is falling, we consider it to be limitation. Because if you don't limit yourself as a firm or a company, then you will never ever be able to or in a position to fix a price, design an offer, okay, plan your for demand fulfillment. You cannot do it. So hence there is a need to fix and uh, draw a line of control. Only until this extent you will be discussing, and later anything falls. Many other factors which might lead to disturb your forecasting of demand. So those all will go beyond the limits, which we refer as limitations or exceptions. Okay. Now, given this concept of demand, there are certain factors, as we've been discussing and rightly pointed out by one of them, that there are many, cases where the demand may not be exactly as it is being forecasted. And there may be either increase in demand or decrease in demand. And the reasons for these movement can be attributed to consumers' income, number one. Okay, consumer income is defined as here in economics, and in this particular subject, we consider it to be one of the most significant aspect variable, and that is purchasing power. So consumers, the market which is being segmented by the force, and it is targeted. That particular targeted segment they should be in a position to buy your product. That means this is referring and connecting to the income that they are receiving. Okay, and accordingly, based on their income level, also we try to segregate them, divide them under various classes, and based on that only the demand is forecasted. So one of the factors which might influence the demand for any given product in the market is consumers' income. For any given reason, if the consumer's income is disturbed, there are high chances that the product which is being expected to be in high demand may not have that demand. The best example is during the pandemic period. Though many of them have lost jobs, many of them had cut, salary deductions, etc. So normally, a person who was able to buy certain, things, necessities, luxuries, etc., have cut down many things during the pandemic period. So that way, the demand for a given product in a market, okay, is influenced by consumers' income primarily. Secondly is the price of the commodity. Price of the commodity is the second factor which will have impact on the demand. See, if you are offering at a price which is higher than your competitors' price, nowadays there are many pricing strategies which are being adopted by the companies, like skimming, penetration, and the dynamic pricings, etc., which all go good with the brand. The only condition with these prices are if they are well reputed brand, and people trust this brand. If they are loyal, then any product which is offered under that particular brand, they may go easily without having any query. But any product which is new to the market, and trying to extract or squeeze the market with the dynamic pricing, then it would be a challenging for the firm. So price of the commodity also influences the demand estimation. So if your prices, the firm has to check out in the market how many firms are offering this kind of alternative products, similar products. And then based on all these inputs, the pricing decision can be made, taking even into consideration the previous demands in the market, and also the various strategies that their competitors are adopting, upcoming season, off season and non season. Accordingly, the prices can be fixed for a commodity, and because of either a low price or a high price also, the demand may have an impact. And the best example here is the Tata Nano. It is being offered to the market with the caption as cheapest car for the middle class families. This particular tag has drawn its complete, though it is from a very well-known brand Tata, the company, and though it is coming from the best company industry, it is being offered, and the best price it is offered, one of the best vehicle, a four-wheeler, which was exclusively designed for the middle class, just because of the price, which was only to target the middle class people. But the kind of tagline, the price tagline, which was made uh, popular with the negative publicity, like it was one of the cheapest car offered to the middle class, etc. If you have time, you can just read the case study of Tata Nano. You will better understand what I'm trying to explain you here is the price which is offered to the market was 1 lakh. And this 1 lakh, instead of 1 lakh, they started calling it as cheapest car. Well, the cheapest car. And the word cheap had drawn its all, demand into zero. So that way, the prices, the prices, the lowering the prices or hiring the price or keeping a standard price makes a lot of difference for the demand in the market. So all this needs to be properly and thoroughly studied by the firms in order to make a wise decision. Then price of the related goods. Related goods here refers to, like, simply example I give you, pen and refills, uh, uh, sh- uh, coffee with sugar powder, tea powder with sugar powder, onions, tomatoes, and potatoes. The daily consumable goods which are more in demand. So if the prices of the related goods, like come summer, come any season, lemons are highly demanded and overpriced as well. So that way, any good which is related, okay, which is like connected with another product, like when if the sugar prices are high, there are chances that the consumption of tea might come down. And when the tea's consumption is coming down, see, the sugar's price is high, the consumption of tea is decreasing, and it is hitting the tea powder firms, where it will hit indirectly the demand for the tea powders will also come down. Understand? So that way, refill and pen, onions, tomato, potato, the daily consumption goods, related goods, which are dependent on other goods. So price of one of the related goods may have impact on the demand of the other. Okay. Next, we have consumer taste and preferences. This is something very dynamic. So consumer taste and preferences. Given the this generation, 5G generation, where we have so much to talk about technology, upgradation, so many, new things keep coming up. And accordingly, the taste and preferences of the customers are changing. You have iPhone today, some model, tomorrow another iPhone with another added model is coming in the market. Within the next 6 months, another competitor comes up with a new market. So the taste and preference of the customers are moving. In given this kind of situations, skimming and penetration pricing is something the firm would probably end up adopting. And these are considered to be the best, pricing which are adopted. Like when there are no competitors in the market, when your product is newly offered to the market and there are no competitors, that means no risk, no risk. You are the monopoly. I mean, you don't have any competitors in the market. So whatever price you are fixing, there is a demand for the product. People would buy from you. Your product is being purchased, whatever price it could be. This kind of pricing, and in this kind of situations, mostly it is observed that the companies go for skimming pricing strategy, wherein they skim as much possible. That means they extract as much possible from the market in a very shorter period of time. And this is just for short term. And immediately, once within next 6 months to 1 year, they knew, the firm already knew and estimates that the competitor would enter the market with a price or model with a different look, etc., which might tend to change the taste and preference of the customers, thereby whatever period where they are playing safely, that initial period, they would skim the market and extract as much possible as much possible as they can. That is the skimming strategy. And in this kind of situation, penetration pricing strategy is adopted by a few, unknown brands who wanted to not who are in the market to create goodwill for their company. Unlike the products, brands which have already goodwill, anything offered by Tata or big companies, ITC, etc., we blindly end up buying. But anything from non-branded products, a new brand is trying to enter. So for them, penetration pricing strategy is adopted more. So consumer taste and preference, here we're talking about consumer taste and preference keeps changing. And this may have impact on the demand for a given product. So today, over a period of time, you're buying a product from a particular brand, but because of the entry of a new brand and offers which are being provided by them, you get attracted towards their product and you switch immediately. So that way, the taste and preference of the customers would also be the reason for deciding the exact demand in a market. Then comes the role of advertisement. Yes. If the advertisement does not effectively, brands, companies, or industry as such, if they don't advertise it effectively, there are chances that there may be no demand. Because advertisement, again, types of advertisement is a different section altogether to discuss. But advertisement basically is about communicating about the product with live demos uh, before and after. We see watch certain advertisement where it is shown how the product is to be used, what are the before and after results, and then how the such ads. In few advertisement we also see that watch that they take the feedbacks, although it is all a drama which has been shoot and then they are projecting us, but the way it is effectively showing, it convinces the consumers, it convinces the market to buy the product. So the effective advertisement for a given product, though you are a reputed bank, but if you are not able to advertise it properly, that means communicate rightly to the product in time, then there are chances that you may end up having no demand or a very less demand. And that is the reason why, if you see, usually when we move across on the roads, any building, okay, is on lease or rent, they put a big banner showing the details of upcoming so and so brand, or so and so company, or so and so showroom here upcoming, they write and they project it. This gives an idea for all those trespassers that there is something which is going to come out from Reliance company, or say Spencer, or any other brand. So here we note down that in future we can see this brand here. So we can have a proper planning for buying any product from those brands. So we might prefer those places. So that way, the proper advertising will play a very significant role in fixing a demand for the product. And then comes consumers' expectations. What is consumers' expectations? See, consumers satisfying a customer is uh, definitely going to be a very challenging and dynamic, because customers today, what they come up to the firm with a particular kind of product, again after a couple of days or months their preferences would change, would tend to change. Their ideas would tend to change. They may not like the same time. So that way, expectations of the customer will, you see, every time they increase. Okay, what they want today, basically, tomorrow they try to upgrade, and so on and so forth for years. So customers' expectations, if a firm is not able to fulfill the customer's expectation, and you retain the same basic model and you're not changing it, okay, then it so happens that your customers tends to swap from your brand to another brand. They may immediately switch, which is giving them the attractive products, which is offering them the attractive products. So that way, the customers would shift to another brand. There are high chances. So that way also, customers' expectations plays an important role. And then we have population and its distribution. This is all connected to STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So distributors. See, advertisement is effectively done, and on national TV channels, it is being projected. So successfully, advertising is doing its work to create the demand. Company's point of view, company is very much taking into consideration the taste and preference of the customer and redesigning its basic model. Everyone is into their job in order to better make the sales for the upcoming months or quarterly. But suppose the logistics department, or say distribution department, is not able to do, and that is where in today's generation, logistic department is playing a vital role. Outsourcing, companies have outsourced this job to the logistics, wherein supply chain management has become a booming sector, where it's all about delivering the product, making the product available, delivering it the to product to the right at the right time to the right place. So making the product, all your initiatives which you have taken up would go in vain if the product is not available in the right time at the right place. Okay, so distribution department, that is the logistics or the supply chain management department, plays a vital role here. So again, having a channel which is efficiently managing your distribution channel, supply chain, also contributes for your demand. If for upcoming season, the distribution department is not able to do your work effectively, instead of delivering today, they are the distributors are making it delay in making the products available in the malls and the market, different shops in the marketplace. Because of this, people keep coming and asking about the product, and when they don't find, they will go off. They may give one attempt, second attempt, third attempt at the most, and thereby they'll be either drop the idea of buying or they may switch off to the other product. So distribution at the department doing their job at the right time and right place also creates a lot of demand. If it is available in time, there are chances that they may go out of stock. And immediately when it is going out of stock, they should have a plan for delivering in that particular emergency situation to better deal. So all these needs to be planned and coordinated properly between the firm and the distributor. Then only things will work out and they are all aligned up in order to make the best in that given time and duration. All right. So this is all about the various factors which influence the demand for a product. Okay. The demand function, if you look at, is D of X, which includes F of PX, that is price, PY, that is product, price of the substitute products, all that we've discussed just now, and price of the complementary products. Then we have price of the income of the buyer, wealth of the buyer, advertising, prices, price which is expected by the customer as denoted as A, E, expectations, T, taste and preferences, U are any other factor. Now, this is not the end list that we have discussed. We have discussed only until taste and preferences and distribution, right? Any other matter which might have impact on the demand of for a given product comes under U, other, factors. So demand function is all about all those factors which have directly or indirectly influence on the demand for the given product in the market. Okay. Now look at types of demand. There are three types of demand. Number one, price, income. Secondly, income. Third is cross. Price demand refers to the quantity demanded for a particular product or service at a given price. So, larger quantity is demanded at a lower price than at a high price. When the prices are low, more is demanded, larger quantity is demanded. Income demand is referring here to quantity of a particular good is demanded at a level of income of a buyer. This is connected to income. So income of the buyer is rising. They may prefer to buy more better products. Maybe what they were buying till now, they may leave that and they may switch to another superior product. So that way, the income of the buyer goes up. The buyer will have a taste to buy superior products or goods or vice versa. Now, can be otherwise also. Like when the income of the buyer is going down, they may even adjust with the basic and even below basic, non-branded products also. So it has two effects. If your income is more, suppose the person is getting more salary, they may switch off to branded and superior product. If the income is less, they may switch back to the normal basic products, the necessity they may, just try to fulfill. Suppose if you see a customer's income is rising and you estimate that in future they will be raising their incomes, then there are chances that luxurious products are also, goods and services are also demanded by those category, class of people, class of customers. And then we have cross demand. Cross demand is all about related prices of other goods and substitutes and complementaries. So how much ever the customer would like to buy for a given commodity community, it all depends upon the relative prices of the products. Suppose if you want to go on a journey in your own vehicle, suppose four-wheeler. Okay, you might definitely have a look. Unless and until you are comfortable or you have a good wealth, you would, a salaried person will definitely have an eye on the prices of the petrol or diesel. Okay, so your trip to 600 kilometers or 1,000 kilometer, or say 2 days, 3 nights, some places you want to visit. So definitely you will have an analysis on the price of the petrol or diesel, whatever is to go with. You will definitely check out and see how much it is going to cost you when you go the in your vehicle, or you will also check the train and flight tickets, which is feasible. You will try to choose it. So related products, substitutes, complementary. Complementary is means whether you will choose your own vehicle to go for a trip, or you will go to buses, or you have an option of rail, or you have an option of flight. So that way you have, one, two, three, four, five complementary. Which one you want, you will choose. Which is economically, which one is giving you more satisfaction, that probably plan would be chosen. Substitute is also another. If you have a substitute, then definitely you will switch to your substitute. Given all the conditions are satisfied, then you will. In this given condition, the demand which is being, late, is being analyzed. We refer this particular demand as cross demand, which is connected to related prices of other goods, substitutes, and complementaries. Right? Is that clear too?
Yes.
And yeah, we have nature of demand. I, if you have any queries, we will stop here and discuss your queries. Otherwise, we'll move on with the next topic. Nature, law of demand, and all are very, lengthy ones, which we will take up in the next class tomorrow. If you have any queries, we will stop here and look at your queries. Otherwise, we'll move on to tomorrow's class, where we'll start about nature, and followed by law of demand and exceptions to the law of demand. These are very important, parts of demand analysis. Anyone, any queries? I hope you're able to understand the classes with language.
Yes.
If you have still any concerns and queries, please raise up. You can unmute, you can chat, and I would definitely be happy to answer your calls. All right, I think there are no queries. We'll stop the class here, and you can get up for your next class. We'll see you tomorrow's class. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So much.